Hi, my name is Kayla Hogan, and I'm here today to talk to you about the merits of a college education versus that of good old-fashioned on-the-job training. We are all familiar with and have been accustomed to questions such as, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or what colleges are you applying to, and what major are you pursuing, and why did you choose that major? What are you going to do with it? And my favorite is, when are you going to go back to school to finish your degree? From our elementary school days all the way through high school, we are constantly bombarded with questions and expectations regarding a college education. Many high school graduates enter college simply because they are expected to and without any idea of what they want to pursue while they're there. In my case, those questions have lasted long since high school graduation, as I am classified as a returning adult student looking to finish what I started almost 10 years ago. If I still don't have my life figured out, how is a kid fresh out of high school supposed to have all the answers? It begs to question, with all of this pressure and with all of these expectations, what makes a college degree so much more beneficial than straight up good old-fashioned on-the-job training? While both have their own merits and drawbacks, we each have our own stories with differing backgrounds, interests, abilities, experiences to go along with them. So picking one over the other isn't necessarily the correct answer anymore. To begin, we will start with the benefits of a college degree. As many of us know, obtaining a degree is going to more than likely land you with higher pay and higher rates of employment. According to a study done by the Georgetown University Center on Education and the Workforce, in 1999, an adult with a bachelor's degree earned 75% more over a lifetime than a high school graduate. By 2009, the premium had grown to 84%. And then not only are you going to have these higher rates of pay, but you're also going to have higher rates of employment in general. That same study concluded that in November of 2011, the unemployment rate for college graduates was 4.4% compared with 8.5% for high school graduates. So it's pretty much cut in half, those rates of unemployment with a degree versus no degree. But besides those higher employment rates and higher pay rates, degrees themselves are going to teach you more than just trade skills, such as critical thinking, communication skills, and teamwork. Employers, they're looking for these qualities in potential hires when they're going through that application process. According to Josepha Roxa of the University of Virginia and Tanya Levy of York College, there's an increasing focus on higher order skills such as communication, problem solving, and reasoning. So employers, they want to know that you can do more than just the bare bones basics of your job. They're going to want to know that you can communicate well, whether it's with them or with your coworkers. They're going to want to know that you can function well on a team and work well with others, to accomplish the goals of the company. If you're like me, I work with the public. I work at a credit union, so my employers not only want to know that I can communicate with my supervisors and my teammates, but they're going to want to know that I can communicate with our members, the general public, whether that's opening an account for them or walking them through the loan process or answering questions or assisting them with a problem with their banking. My supervisors want to know that, I'm going to communicate clearly and concisely and efficiently with them, that I'm going to do my best to answer all of their questions in a way that they can understand and make sense to them. And they're going to want to know that I can do it in a kind and friendly manner, and be patient with them and not make them feel like their problems or their issues are going to be any sort of burden to me. And then they're going to want to know that I can do this, whether it's face-to-face with a member in my office, or if I'm having a phone conversation, or if I have to write them a letter or send them an email. My employers are going to want to know that, I can handle all these different avenues of communication. And then, that's also going to apply to, my problem-solving skills. Say I have a member that comes in, and they've got a problem that I don't necessarily know the answer to right away. They're going to want to know that I can take a step back, kind of look at the situation, and try and work my way through it instead of, first sign of danger, first sign of trouble, jumping up out of my office and running to my manager every single time. These are all qualities that are going to be important, to employers when they're seeking out people to hire. And then going through that application process, if you're going to even get to that level where the employees are seeing these additional skills in you, you got to make it through those first stages of that process. So when employers are receiving a high volume of applicants for a particular position, they actually tend to weed out applicants, whether, based on whether they have a degree or not. So it just helps them weed through that application process, and it's not necessarily always going to be fair. You can have somebody who, has a degree but might not be quite as qualified experience-wise as somebody over here who doesn't have that degree, but they've got loads of experience. The person with the bachelor's degree is already going to be one step ahead of that person who has the experience, but, just isn't there college-wise. With all of these benefits, though, straight up college education does have some drawbacks. Many students have difficulty finding a job post-graduation. Say, you jump right into college, obtain your four-year degree right out of high school. You worked minimum wage jobs, just to make ends meet, get your way through those, first 4 years. You're going to have a degree, but you're not really going to have much job experience either. So when you're going up for different positions, you might not necessarily only be going against, high school graduates with only that high school diploma. You could be competing with somebody who's maybe going from one company to the next, and you're applying for the same position, but they've got their college degree and a few years of experience ahead of you. So just because you have that college degree doesn't necessarily mean that the job search is going to be easy. And as a result, many people have those thousands of dollars in student loan debt, kick in 6 months after graduation, but they have no way of really paying it off in a reasonable amount of time or making any real headway on it because they're still working, these minimum wage or, entry-level positions. And once they do find a job, many graduates either don't use their degree in their current position because it's not necessarily a position that they were initially looking for, or they land in one that didn't even require the skills of a degree in the first place. So, you spend all this money, all this time in college, obtaining this degree, and, for a while you might be in a job that, isn't in the field that you were, initially going for, or that even required a degree in the first place. According to Roxa and Levy from earlier, finding a job in one's field of study is not only an individual dilemma, is it a process that reflects the relationship or lack thereof between the educational system and the labor market. Liberal arts fields, for example, have no clear occupational matches. The U.S. educational system is different from many other industrialized nations in that it provides credentials with limited or no occupationally specific training. They also go on to say that the weak relationship between the educational and occupational systems has been extensively criticized for creating challenges in youth labor market transitions. So this conundrum, if you want to put it that way, has actually been studied by researchers, showing that there really is, a real problem going from, obtaining your degree to finding, a job in your field that applies to what you've been studying for the last 4 years. And then as a result of this, the lack of mobility resulting from this, the lack of interest in your current career, many graduates end up heading back to school for additional degrees. And these might not even be, graduate degrees or master's degrees. You might be going back for a completely different bachelor's degree. So not only have you wasted all that time and all that money, obtaining that first one, you've wasted this time, in a job that you don't necessarily like, or you're not making any headway in, not moving up in, and now you're going to go and spend all this, more time and thousands of dollars more obtaining a second degree that you could have just pursued in the first place. So what about on-the-job training and development? What are some benefits of this? To kind of help with that conundrum of ending up in a degree that you're not going to do anything with. On-the-job training and development, can help you decide if you even like that field that you're going for or not. When I was in high school, I was always told that the average college student will change their major 6 times before they graduate. I can attest to this. Throughout high school and college, I went from wanting to be an elementary school teacher to a nurse to a counselor to a paralegal. I stuck with that one for a while. Then back to a high school English teacher, and then I wanted to be an English professor at the college level, and then switching finally to where I'm at now, which is, an editor at a publishing company, which ironically has just been my dream job from the very beginning. But the point is, after all of this consideration and weighing all the different options and all of the agonizing over the different choices, and once you actually finally make a decision, you may still end up in a career that you don't enjoy. So having this on-the-job experience, on-the-job training, is going to help you decide if you actually are interested in that field or not. And then once you do find something that you actually want to pursue, that you're actually interested in, you're going to be able to learn skills specific to that field, through the on-the-job training. Many employers offer training sessions and certification opportunities to be paid for by the company, so it's at no cost to you whatsoever monetarily. My current manager is actually a perfect example of this. She's been at the credit union for, I'd say, like 10 years or so now, and this was her first and only, real job, as an adult. She was a previous stay-at-home mom, and she has no college degree or had any work experience other than bartending before she started at the credit union. Starting out as a part-time teller like the rest of us do, she worked her way up and used the knowledge she gained at each position, to move on to the next one. So like I said, she started out as a part-time teller, went to a full-time teller, moved on to head teller, branch manager, indirect lending officer, and now currently she's the manager over, our credit union's entire lending department. So all the experience that she's gained over the years and all the certifications and licensing, that she's, acquired, all of that, amounts to the same value to what she would have earned, obtaining that college degree. And not only, the different certifications and whatnot, a lot of employers, they'll help you go back to school if that's what you want to do. A lot of them offer education and reimbursement programs. I know, I'm in that boat right now. The credit union, they're helping me pay for my degree, to go and finish up my schooling. And not only are they going to give you, all these educational benefits, whether it's, helping you go back to school or just getting, participating in different training sessions, certifications. This is all going to help you advance quicker within the company that you're at. A lot of places, they tend to promote from within. It's generally cheaper, to retain and just continually train your current employees compared with hiring new ones, right off the street and starting from scratch. But aside from that, with all of the, investments that they've, devoted to you at this point, whether it's, the time spent in training you in-house, or if they've, paid for you to attend different training sessions, different certification programs, if they're helping you go back to school and obtain your degree, they've invested a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of resources into you. So they're going to want to keep you and see a return on all of those investments. So it's not only going to help you advance quicker, since you're already there, but with all of these investments that they've, devoted into you, you're going to advance a lot quicker within the company than, compared to somebody who they're bringing in fresh off the street. Even though they do have all these benefits, though, skipping the college degree right away and going straight for the on-the-job experience does have its drawbacks. As we discussed earlier, in that hiring process, many applicants are weeded out based on whether you hold a degree or not. And like I said, it's not necessarily fair. If they're obtaining, 200 applicants for the same position, it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort to work through all of those resumes. So sifting people out based off of the letters after your name is a very common practice. According to Matt Winch, the senior program officer in the employment program at the Joyce Foundation, employers often use college experience as an easy way to winnow down large applicant pools and as a crude proxy for soft skills, but as a result, often overlook qualified people who have those same skills, if not a diploma. He states that it's the price of admission to pass through the screen, but then they are not that much more prepared for these jobs, he says. So because these employers are trying to weed through all of these applicants so quickly, as I kind of said earlier, you can have somebody who is just as qualified as someone who holds a college degree, if not more so, based off all of the experience that they've accumulated, with their current employers or previous employers, but they're automatically going to get skipped over just because they don't have those letters after their name. So it's not necessarily fair, but it is a common practice, that employers are seeing nowadays, just because of the high volume of applicants that they get for any given position. And you're going to kind of be in that same boat, whether you want to change employers, if you're going from one company to the next, even though you've got that experience behind you at the place that you're currently at, say you're going to another company, you're applying for a job there, you're going to be going up against, you know, maybe people who are at that current company and are trying to move up. You could be going against, you know, other people who have just graduated from college, you know, and they're trying to find their first job. You could be going against them. You could be going up against people who have experience and a college degree. So, you know, like I said, you know, you're going to be in the same boat if you're going for your first one, or, you know, even if you're just trying to change companies, you know, not having those letters after your name, not having that college education, you know, will, you know, pose as a setback in that scenario. So what does all of this mean? What does this have to do with you? What does this have to do with me? In today's day and age, where employers are weeding out applicants based on degree attainment and require more than just your typical trade skills in their job descriptions, a college degree is becoming a necessity. With a higher pay, higher employment rates to go with it, why wouldn't you want to pursue a college education? However, all school and no work, so to speak, leaves many graduates without the necessary experience to find employment in their field of study. And even if they do, many find themselves in positions where they don't even use their degrees at all, and yet they still have the thousands of dollars in debt that go along with it. So rather than choose one over the other, why can't we choose both? Why not gain the letters behind our names and the experience and support from our employers all at the same time? Why not be comfortable and confident in a plan that suits us rather than follows the typical status quo of choosing one over the other? What do I want to be when I grow up? That's a very good question, one of which I am slowly but surely starting to figure out. And I don't know exactly, even at this point, you know, how I'm going to get there and what it's going to look like in the future. But I do know that whatever the combination may look like, both a college degree and on-the-job experience are going to be crucial along the way, and they've already been crucial along the way up to this point. So I think it's important that we stop following societal pressures in the way where, you know, kids are feeling pressured to go straight into college right after high school, or, you know, people are being pressured, you know, if they come from certain aspects of society, just to skip college and go straight for work experience altogether. I don't think it's necessarily a black and white issue anymore. There's a lot of gray area when it comes to this topic. So I think we need to start looking at it on sort of like a case-by-case basis, person to person. Not necessarily choose one or the other, and that's that. Like I said earlier, we've all got our own stories. We've all got our own backgrounds, different talents, experiences, abilities, interests. So that, you know, is all going to play a part in this decision. So whether it's a college degree, job experience, more than likely, nowadays it's going to be a combination of both. And I think it is important, you know, for adults, you know, even and kids coming straight out of high school, you know, that we look at it a little bit differently. Thank you.